why you are going through this right now. You're going through this right now because there will be an elevation. There are things in your life that have to be torn down in order for you to be rebuilt or for you to rebuild your life. This is not like some type of like initiation for something. This is not like, oh, you got to lose in order to gain. It's like there's a lot of structures in your life that you might feel comforted by, almost kind of like vices that need to be removed so you can actually ascend to be who you need to be. You're going through this because it's a transformation, and this transformation is coming, okay? And it's happening within you, and you can see it. So it's indicating to me that you can see it. You can see what this looks like to you. You can see what this life looks like to you, what your future looks like to you, how you want to take this moment and build it into your next moment. It is very clear for you. And there's almost like this energy that's coming across of like, well, why am I not already there? If I can see these things, why does it feel so like, why am I going through this? Because we're so busy worried about wanting everything that's positive in our life to happen to us in a nice, positive way. Things are uncomfortable. Think about this. For us to come into life, most of the time, we come through like childbirth. Very, very painful. You know, when we're a kid and we have a growth spurt, we're tired, sick, it's painful. These experiences in life, they're not to polarize us. They're just a part of the experience. But somewhere along the way, we have decided that everything has to be happy-go-lucky, or if we embrace giving ourselves grace when things are difficult, some people chase the pain. So they'll put themselves in a high anxiety environment in order to motivate themselves. They'll be super procrastinators. They'll believe that people who are arguing with them love them because they have it's two sides of the extreme. You got to see this from a balanced perspective. Where are you going to next? Okay. You went through all of this, or you're going through all of this because there's something more than right now. So don't just think about yourself in the now, think about where you're going. When you think about where you're going, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I see how this works. I see why I had to let this people go. I see why I had to change this work environment. I see why I had to change my motivation, or I had to change my health, or I had to change my diet, or you'll see it then. But in the moment, it feels horrible. Think about it. When someone wants to change their diet, if they are someone who uses food for emotional support, or they use food as community and collective energy, it's going to feel horrible. But maybe they have to do that for their health. So in the long run, yeah, you'll have better health. But in the short run, it feels like, oh, this really, really sucks. You lose a large part of your identity or who you think you are. But instead, you get to gain a fuller life. You get to do other types of activities. You could do this, you could do that. So you're going through these different shifts in your life. Again, the people around it, your money, how you look at money, how you look at motivation, how you think about things. Because taking all this stuff away and putting it to the side, a lot of times people do not want to let go of the ideas of how they think things should be. Even if they want a different life, even if they want a bigger life, even if they want a better life, even if they want a more supported life, they don't want to let go of those ideas. And it limits them. But you see yourself as having the ability to be able to move past this. And you can see it. Not everybody can see it. So don't take it for granted. You might be like, oh, it's like, this is normal. It's not normal. You're able to see past it. So because you're able to see past it, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to stay stuck where you're at? Or are you going to understand that just because you are making a transition to something doesn't mean that whatever you're experiencing in that transition is how life is always going to be? That's how our brains tell us to think about things. Oh, it's always going to be like that. That's why when you have a lot of money, sometimes people are very risky and they like to gamble and this and that because they think it's always going to be on the up. That's why when you don't have a lot of money, you might do things in a very desperate way because you think it's not always going to be well. So even when you get money, you're doing desperate things. Even when you have a lot of money, or you lose the money that you have, you feel like, is this going to, You're going through this because there's an elevation. So make the right decisions now. Cleanse that out so the life that you want can show up and you can accept it. You want to do that work now when it's difficult. You do not want to do that work when life gets better. And now you got to lose some of that good energy because you didn't want to get rid of that stuff at the time that you should have gotten rid of it. It's already going to be uncomfortable. Just get rid of it now. And when that new energy comes in, embrace it. Allow it to be. You're not just struggling for a reason or for no reason. Your life will get to where you need it to go, okay? And also, if you need some healing, you can find me at Reiki Healing Hope and at Jet Lachey 9 for them healing sessions as well.